Yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yi-oh.
Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. Today is St. Andrew's Day. It's the national holiday of Scotland. Andrew was the patron saint of Scotland, and is a day of festivity and is celebrated by people who claim Scottish ancestry all over the world. I'm going to read a poem today by Jean Blewett. She is a Canadian poet. She lived from 1862 to 1934. She was born in Canada, but her parents were both born in Scotland. She lived in Northern Ontario, in the region of Scotia. She was in a Scottish community in Canada. And I'm going to read a poem from her called St. Andrew's Day, a Toast. St. Andrew's Day, a Toast by Jean Blewett. Wha cares if skies be dull and grey? Wha needs November weather? Let ilka Scot be glad today, the whole wide world together. We are a prude and stubborn lot, and clannish, sae folk name us. I but with sick guide cause none aught to judge us or to blame us. For joys that are, we'll pledge today a land baith fair and glowing. Here's tae the hymns o' Canada, we love and peace o'erflowing. For joys that were, for Auld Lang Syne, for tender cords that bind us, a toast, your hand, old friend, in mine, the land we left behind us. Ho Lowlanders, ho Hielanders, we'll toast her a' together. Here's tae each bonny loch and glen, here's tae her hills and heather. Here's tae the Aldheim far away, where tender mists do bind us. We'll pledge on this St. Andrew's Day the land we left behind us. I, along with a lot of other people, do have Scottish ancestry. Trace it back many generations. My ancestors came from Scotland, mostly from Argyll, into what is now Northern Ireland, to Antrim, and then to America. So they were Ulster Scots. And I do have a deep interest in Scotland and the Scottish people and Scottish culture. And that's what Blewett, I believe, was trying to drive in this poem. Thoughts about the diaspora, the people who just left Scotland, the people whose ancestors left many generations ago, those who left after Culloden, who were driven out, those who chose to come to America and Canada and Australia and New Zealand and so many other places. You see Scottish place names around the world. You see Scottish surnames around the world. It is a fascinating culture. But I think while we consider the land we left behind us, we have to remember that those of us in the diaspora have to remember we are no longer Scots. Somebody like me, whose ancestors came over in the 1700s to America, I have Scotch ancestry, but I am not Scottish. And I think we can draw from all the best parts of Scottish culture, and we can learn from the worst parts. And if we feel like it, we can wear kilts, and eat haggis, and drink whiskey, and play golf, whatever other stereotypical things Scots do. Toss the caber, do the Highland fling, play Scottish music, play the bagpipes. But for those of us who aren't in Scotland, especially those of us who are many generations removed, we need to remember that we have Americanized Scotland, or made it like Canada, or like Australia, or like New Zealand and other places. I wish you a happy St. Andrew's Day, and if you find some ways to incorporate Scottish festivals into your day, Scottish festivities, Scottish cultures and traditions, I wish you well. And if you choose not to, that's also fine. And of course, this being a bookish channel, read the poetry of Jean Blewett. Read the poetry of Robert Burns. Read the poetry of Robert Louis Stevenson, and then his fiction, and then his nonfiction. Read Walter Scott. Read Josephine Tay. Read Muriel Spark. Read Tobias Smollett. Read James Hogue. Read Ian Rankin. Read Val McDermott. There are so many great Scottish writers going way back and who are writing now. Have a wonderful St. Andrew's Day, however you celebrate it. Thank you, my fellow readers, for watching. And until next time, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.
Yippee-yi-oh.